I've known plenty of people who pray a lot, but all they ever do is to talk at God, not with Him. Their prayers are a one-way list of demands, a checklist of things they want. It's a prayer life that treats God like a cosmic vending machine or a silent therapist. But if you want to truly connect with the one who created you, the one who knows you better than anyone else, your conversation has to change. You have to open yourself up to the possibility of listening, not just speaking. If you are ready to stop talking and ready to start having real conversations with God, this video might help you. Can we all please just forget about whether we're saying the right thing or using the right words and just get down to the core of what's going on in our hearts? As Proverbs tells us, we should, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. I once heard a story about a tired gardener who, after a bad year, buried a single seed in the ground. That seed represented his faith, as that's all he had after such a bad year. He kept watering it even though nothing seemed to be happening. Everyone else saw a dead patch of land, but he saw promise in that seed, and he kept that promise close to his heart. If we can speak from that same heart, we can speak God's language. And if we flip that around, we have to learn how to listen to God's heart inside our own. It's not through any loud words or overwhelming feelings or big signs, but in very subtle and gentle inspirations or movements in our heart and those moments of clarity in our soul. In 1 Kings 19:12, the story of Elijah teaches us that sometimes God's voice isn't in the earthquake or the fire, but in a gentle whisper. Once we master this very delicate language of the heart, that's when we're truly talking with God. For a long time, the way we prayed was formal and stiff. Maybe you learned a certain prayer in church. This can make prayer feel like a chore, a one-sided list of requests for a God who feels far away. You might even feel like you're not good enough to pray right. This feeling can put a big wall between you and God. A 2023 poll showed that many people who pray only do so when they need something, and they often feel like they don't get an answer. This idea of treating God like a vending machine just makes us feel more alone. But the Bible shows us a different way. From the very beginning, God wanted a close connection, not just a formal one. Think about Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. God walked and talked with them, like a casual walk with a friend. That's the kind of relationship God really wants with us. He wants to be a loving father and friend who is right here with us, in the small everyday moments as well as the big ones. He's not a distant boss. He's a loving parent who runs to meet us, like the dad in the story of the prodigal son. Recent ideas about faith have focused on this personal side of things. They remind us that God isn't just listening to us. He's speaking to us all the time. The goal isn't to change God, but to change how we see Him. It's about seeing Him as a loving Father who cares deeply about our lives, not just a ruler. This means we can talk to Him with the same real, honest feelings a child has with a loving parent. When we open our hearts to Him, the Holy Spirit helps us, sorting through our feelings and making our motives more pure. I like the NIV's translation of Romans 8:26 because it helps explain this concept better. It says, "In the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us through wordless groans." This reality should bring us deep peace even when things are tough. This shift changes everything. You might have heard stories from people who feel like they have a real connection with God. They talk about hearing His voice as a quiet thought or feeling His presence. These people aren't super special. They've just learned to listen with their hearts. So, how do we start talking with God, not just to Him? It starts by making space for Him in your heart. You can find a quiet spot, feet on the ground, palms open. Your body posture helps open your soul. Imagine everything around you fading away until it's just your heart in an empty space. Now, invite Him in. That right there is the deepest kind of prayer. And if you do want to talk, just be honest. Forget about a God who is angry or disappointed. After being honest, pray for others, the sick, the hopeless. Your true heart matters more than your words. When you pray for yourself, be honest with your fears and needs. The more you tell Him, the less scary they become. Finally, say thank you. You don't need fancy words, just say it from your heart. Then, simply close by saying, Lord, I know you can do all things. Sometimes it's hard to pray, but that's usually because we forget that God is a real person who loves us. We are so good at being busy, aren't we? We rush through our days, ticking off our to-do lists and giving our full attention to what we should wear or eat. We worry over our bodies, over the things that are only here for a short time. And when it comes to talking to God, we give Him what's left over, a quick thought, a rushed word thrown out while we're doing 5 other things at once. We give Him our scraps of time, not the dedicated hour He longs for. But Jesus asked a question that should shake us awake. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? He wasn't saying our bodies don't matter, but that our souls matter more, eternally more. You see, the body is a temporary home, but the soul is the real you, the part that lives forever. And that part needs feeding, not just rushed prayers and afterthought moments. To truly talk with God, we have to quiet the noise of our lives. It's like trying to hear a secret whispered to you across a crowded, loud room. You have to turn away from the crowd and lean in close. That quiet time, that dedicated space, is where we truly connect with Him. In that stillness, we can pour out our heart and listen for His gentle, peaceful voice. Because, as the Bible tells us, He is not a God of confusion, but of peace. When we care for our soul as much as we care for our bodies, everything changes. The worries about clothes and food start to fade, and a deep peace settles in. Jesus promised that when we seek first His kingdom, all these things will be given to you as well. It's not a promise of more stuff, but of more peace, more purpose, and a soul that is truly, deeply satisfied. If God gives you a feeling to be kind to a coworker you don't like, that's not just a nice thought. That's the conversation moving from your prayer space to your office. It's about living out the quiet nudges, trusting that they came from Him. The moment you start acting on what you hear, you effectively begin your relationship with God. This is because the real change isn't in the prayer itself, but in what happens after it. Building this deeper connection is a lot like tending a garden. You don't just water the plants once and expect them to thrive forever. You water them regularly, you pull the weeds, and you give them sunlight. Your relationship with God needs the same kind of care. Consistency is key, as Galatians reminds us. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Even on days when you feel nothing, when the conversation feels one-sided again, you show up. This journey is not a perfect one. That's a myth that can kill a relationship before it even starts. The goal isn't to never mess up, but to get back up when you do. Life is full of challenges, and there will be moments when you lose your way, when prayer feels dry, and when you can't hear a thing. But in those moments, your trust is what matters most. Instead of walking away, you keep coming back. The Bible has stories of people like Job, who, even after losing everything, still trusted God, famously stating, "Though He slay me, yet will I hope in Him." Thank you so much for watching. If you found anything valuable in this video, feel free to subscribe. God bless, and see you soon.